are. You know?
Yeah, but I don't consider your father white trash, though.
No, because he rose above it, and he worked his ass off, you know, and he got lucky. I mean, part of it is just being lucky, and that's what I see about other minorities. It's like, hey, you can be the poor son of a bitch in the world, and you do have to have a certain amount of luck.
Yeah, but I mean, part of it is work ethic.
You have to have the opportunity. You have to have the work ethic, and you have to have the opportunity, though. My dad got.
Yeah, it's real complicated though, because really in most of the cases you have to figure in stupidity as a part of it, because in order to be like kind of all fucked up or in a terrible position, and then to have the work ethic, in a lot of cases that's just stupid. And so really you're like, it's like buying a lottery ticket, you know. It's like it's so long odds at some point.
In a lot of ways it is, but I also can say that there were many guys, and my dad, this is just one example, statistically it won't hold up or whatever, but here's the gold rush in Alaska in 1970. There were black guys, there were white guys, and about essentially equal levels. You had to be Air Force. That's what you had to be. Be what? Air Force. Air Force. Because if you were Air Force, you were trained to a certain level that the oil companies wanted to have. They hired a few Army guys. They hired a few other, you know, groups of people. But if you were Air Force, it really did not matter if you were black or white. In 1972, if you were black or white, they hired equal levels of people. And truly, because most of those guys had been through the Vietnam War. They had shown that they could deal with a certain level of reality or a certain level of industry, and they threw them into the pipeline, building the pipeline, and then it was just, you know, up to you.
But it's but the problem
your ass off or not.
The problem is it was pre-society, and as society there in Anchorage grew, I mean, the stereotypes and also the racial hatred.
There was a certain level of that, I mean, but there were plenty of black guys who got a really good job.
It's not just black. I mean that's
Mexicans.
The problem in America is that they
Eskimos.
Right. I mean, the Eskimos are the ones that.
They got jobs too.
When I'm walking on the streets of Anchorage,
I'll grant you, there is that huge roller coaster ride.
No, but I mean, when I'm walking on the streets of Anchorage with you, we're going to a bar, and the people sitting on the street begging are fucking Eskimos. I mean, that tells me that.
What does that tell you?
There's a big fucking problem.
That tells me they're not willing to work.
Well, I mean, it tells you that, I mean, women with children, I mean, it was pretty pathetic.
Yeah, those are the worst kind, because they're not only not willing to work, but they just want to have sex all the time.
But I mean, that's been normal in Alaska.
That is normal in Alaska. It's all Eskimos just having sex all the time.
Essentially what happens with Alaska is that there's a higher level of racism as far as, now we're talking about $60,000 a year jobs versus, you know, $20,000 a year jobs. And so when you can go up to that level of, okay, I want to hire you as an electrical technician, not just some entry-level, you know, laborer. I'm hiring you as an electrical technician. I can discriminate to any level I want to.
Daniel Lilly, attorney at law.
That's essentially what it comes down to. And so it allows a person to discriminate as much as you want. I can hire you at $20,000, I can hire you at $80,000. And of course, get real. Who's going to get the $80,000 jobs? Who's going to get the $25,000?
Damn, Eskimos probably get it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
make up your own decision on that one, man. That's what it comes down to.
She's not
I don't know that much
Eskimo,
about,
baby.
I don't know that much about Alaska.
Eskimo
I know that
pie.
what I've seen is the natives. The ones, the
indigenous natives?
No, the ones.
The real natives.
No,
Alaska
the
has
ones that
real.
are
The bumping natives.
the transients, the ones that are on the streets, really that are pathetic looking, and I mean they're really pitiful. Where you really do feel bad for them. I mean, you start to see the disparity between. It's not what it is like in inner city where you would see, you know, some poor people as opposed to somebody rich walking on the street. I mean, it's a very interesting dynamic because there aren't any jobs for them. I mean, it's a whole different schism, I guess.
No, it's a different world up there. There's no doubt about it.
So Joe, what do you think of anal sex?
Well, number one, I think if you're in the bonds of holy matrimony, it's the safest thing to do.
I mean, give or receive.
Either way.
Oh, what about yourself? Would you be willing to receive?
Well, I married a woman.
Right, but I mean, you can still buy like vibrators, dildos, and stuff
You
like
can?
that. Yeah.
Not in Marshall.
Not in Marshall.
Where, yeah, send me what is this, Mr. Cools or something?
You're right, but I mean, say your wife,
I'm here for a vibrator.
say if your wife bought a dildo. I mean, say she bought a dildo, your wife or your
I
partner.
could try it.
You might.
I could try it. I've tried it before.
Yeah. And what happened? You enjoy
Kind
it?
of difficult. Kind of difficult. I find it's trying.
What do you think of the Greek culture?
I love Greek culture.
Okay. Tom, have you ever had any experience with
You
anal
have to
sex?
prepare. You have to prepare.
Well,
really. You
it all
probably should
depends
eat
on.
meat for
You
a
have
few
to
days.
go partner by partner. Is what I say.
Preparing for anal sex.
And then,
Yeah, you want to have you don't want to be like. Apparently, like I read this too in porn, like when the women prepare for, I guess the men too, and I don't watch much gay porn, but preparing for anal sex or whatever, a few days beforehand they'll eat meat, so that it kind of, so that they don't have any kind of seepage or whatever. It's hardened the bowel movement or whatever. I don't know. I've always wondered about like gay men who like live a life of fucking one another in the ass, and so to speak.
Metaphorically speaking.
Yeah, metaphorically speaking.
give him my hat.
So,
But no. But I always wondered about them, like about you must have to have like a proper like, because you'd have to think then to be thinking like about your intestines all the time, you know?
Yeah.
You'd have to like have your intestines so that you're not like diarrhea sort of situation or whatever you don't want, or you know, like, so you'd have to take care of that. But and I think, you know, that's part of too finding a good wife is somebody who has good intestines who takes care of that sort of thing, so that you don't have to worry.
Tim, have you ever experienced anal sex?
Hello, Tim.
Can't say that I have.
You can lay down a rabbit shit, but
Tom, what is your thought on it?
I'd have to just reiterate what Joe said. He summed it up better. I'm looking at geological. Did T-Rex ever have anal sex? I doubt it.
Mistakenly, occasionally.
They find a fossil.
Wait a minute! That's the most beautiful invasion of anal sex I've ever heard. Has T-Rex ever had anal sex? Did you sit there and you think and go, God, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Oh, let's have another picture.
No, I'm not. No,
How you guys doing?
I'm not drinking that drop water.
No, I doubt it. You know, I really don't think that T-Rex ever really got into the anal room.
No, they had very small brains.
Very small brains, big penises, and tight assholes. What do you want of T-Rex?
No, but what's interesting is to track the animal homosexuality. You ever look at that? There is a fair amount of homosexuality among certain animals. That's weird.
Right from the ass.
But you know, animals like know who's a male. You know, so if you're a male, you know what the other males are. So there's just something in the brains of certain animals which says it's another male.
Let's get it
Essentially, what it
on.
comes down to is that real reproductive, you know, hormonal drive is all about reproduction. So you got to get in the right hole. I mean, that's what it is. That's basic biology, man. The rest of it is either pleasure and or abnormal kind of type behavior. And I mean,
it shows a degree of
abnormal is bad. I'm
Well,
just saying,
it shows a degree
you're
of
doing it for
intelligence.
fun. You're doing it for
Yeah, it shows
other.
that-
You're doing it for other reasons.
Because if they're a stupid
That's
animal,
somebody
they could
we
be
know that
conceived of
starts
it
to
being like
pee.
taboo to do something other than what they're doing.
I'm just saying that if you want to reproduce your genes, you got to get in the right hole. Okay? If they don't go in the right
Well,
hole,
that's
ain't
not
gonna happen.
entirely true, and I can tell you a little story
But
about
there's a
that.
lot.
Tell us
There's a lot of
Tell us a little story about that.
preemptive behavior.
did that. You
There's
did
a
it.
lot
It was
of
the Virgin Mary.
interesting behavior that does go along with.
Mr. Pimp Hat, what kind of
Well,
story?
no, the story is just that you know, like I had said to a friend of mine, like oh, anal sex at least you're safe, you know, as far as pregnancy or whatever. He said, oh, that's not true. I said, what are you talking about? And he's like, oh, it's about vagina. And Dad said, kind of laughing. Who told you that? He's like, my pastor. That was one of my favorite moments in life so far.
What was that one about the yacht? Another favorite moment in your life?
I can't remember what they call the flying bridge. Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Flying bridge. Yeah. The other favorite moment of mine, one of the other, was when I was fishing with my grandfather in the bay, and it was actually in a bay sort of near Ocean City, and had a lot of sandbars. Anyway, this big yacht's cruising by, going way too fast, and my grandfather was like, "What the fuck is this guy doing? He's going way too fast." And he's like, he's predicting this whole thing, and then before we knew it, and they had somebody up in this flying bridge, which is this high flying seat, like a high above the yacht. Somebody sits up there. He's sitting there. They're flying along, and they hit the sandbar, and the guy's like catapulted 30 yards out into the bay. It was beautiful. For a 13-year-old child to see somebody just, the boat just, and the guy just flying. We were just hoping they were all dead. They all lived. They all lived and went on with their miserable lives.